I take this opportunity to congratulate the Health Minister that since he has come, he's really put Health Ministry and added a glamour quotient to it by a lot of advertising, because advertising really makes a difference. Right from the TV advertisement of Ms. Shri Amitabh Bachchan, definitely I think polio was one of the few success stories our Health Ministry has had, purely by the right advertising and the footfalls at the last home, whether it's a home, shelter, village. So whenever the Health Ministry in India decides to make a difference, they have truly shown that from whether it's a village to Delhi Parliament or any corners, you have always had an extremely efficient job and successfully done. And especially since Nadda ji has taken over, be it the Ayush, be it the immunization program, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank him for even our tobacco control program. He's been exceptionally supportive for all these changes that we are trying to do in the society. And he's been very patient. Even Dr. Sanjay Jaiswal is here. I think the whole House should thank them and the entire standing committee who has been exceptionally patient by drafting this bill. They have not aired anybody who applied and wrote about the bill. They heard every small or big or any person who wanted, whether it was technical or not technical, whether it's an NGO or psychiatrist society. This bill, the ministry and the standing committee have walked an extra mile. So I think the entire House must congratulate, and I hope all the other ministries follow what this ministry has done, because they've really done it with the right intention, rising about politics. This bill has come at a very difficult time, sir, especially in my state. We had an accident, an unfortunate accident in Dhule district, where an orthopedic doctor was at a civil hospital and the person needed the doctor for a different reason. But our doctor could not help the patient, and unfortunately the patient died. And the entire family attacked the doctor, and the doctor today, his skull is broken, he's lost one eye, and he's in the ICU. So I think time has come for even all of us, while we are coming up with all these good legislations, the doctor's security, I think it's a very, very crucial issue. I do understand and respect the emotions of the patient whose family has passed away. But sir, definitely even every doctor, I'm sure, like there is good and bad politicians, there are good and bad lawyers, there are good and bad doctors. So it doesn't mean every doctor is bad. And that particular orthopedic doctor in Dhule is very unfortunate that he had to pay a price and is literally fighting for his life today in Dhule. But let's all hope and pray that he recovers and gets over this. So I would appeal to the Honorable Health Minister that he should talk to all the Chief Ministers and see how we can have that, make sure all our doctors are safe at all times. I'm sure there will be still freak accidents, but I'm sure we can all put our minds together and see how we can really protect all these people who are trying to save lives. Sir, in this entire bill, it's almost a flawless bill, but there are just few quick questions. If the Honorable Minister could answer, it would be much easier for all of us to have more clarity on the doubts we have in our minds. The access, as we all know, that there is a huge challenge and there's a gap. But your national mental health policy and the mental health care bill, if they completely are implemented hand in hand, I think it's a complete win-win situation for all of us. But one suggestion, which is a program which Maharashtra government has tried in Nasik, they use self-help groups as a small group of 60 self-help group women who worked in villages. They were called the leaders who could help, and they addressed a lot of mental health care issues which need not be schizophrenia or severe depression, but maybe post-care depression or small issues which make people vulnerable. So before we reach a level of getting the number of psychiatrists done, could we make all our health workers or empower the ashas and train them a little bit till we finish up with this gap? So could that be an option? And I remember Dr. Tharoor talking about psychotherapists. Sir, I'm not sure what your view of psychotherapists is, but today, unfortunately in India, it's become almost cocktail conversation that, oh, I'm depressed and I need a Prozac. I think we really need to get out of this. And there are so many counselors. It's very good to have counselors, but how many qualified counselors do we have? And for the mental health issue, the counselors could be at a very visible lower level, but are these counselors, are you going to allow them? And if you are going to allow them, how far can they go in helping us treat it? So this psychotherapists, I think if you could kindly clarify what you expect out of them and how far can they go in treating, because today anybody can open a little shop, put as a counselor, and you can start, who is not even qualified. So I think that clarity we need to have. And allied health professions, as I think Hina Gavit also mentioned in her speech, that what are we looking at, because most practitioners have guidelines. So I think we need to have very stringent guidelines, because these issues are all chemical imbalances. This is just not a freak accident where suppose there's an exam, you're stressed. I don't think this bill is just for stress and competitive exam stress. This is for deeper chemical imbalances that people have which are beyond their control. We don't even know how this mental health comes from. There is no science where we'll be able to prove how mental health occurs. It's provided through genes or what. So I think we really need to have clarity on psychotherapists. So if you could kindly clear that. Rules and regulations. There are very few states after the Mental Health Act of 1987 had the right rules and regulations. I think Karnataka is one of the states which has come out with the best regulations. Maharashtra has come up with it, but Maharashtra we've run into an issue where we requested them to pull alcohol and drugs also as a mental issue. Excessive alcohol and drug consumption is a disease, sir, but which is not even in this bill, and we got held up in Maharashtra while forming the rules and regulations because we realized that that comes under Home Ministry and it does not come under health. So if you could kindly throw light, and I would request you that if alcoholism and drugs could be put into this bill as a mental illness, or at least consider it, because I do understand legislations have their limitations, but we can keep changing them and making them strengthening as we implement them. Third point is the budget. Sir, we definitely have an issue with the budget. A lot of earlier speakers have talked about, so I won't repeat that point. But the mother and baby clause, now that if you could kindly clarify as at what level and what access with her, because I'm a mother, I do understand that however ill the mother is, to take away the child away from the mother may not be the right decision. You have said that for 3 years you will allow the child, but if you could clarify what could it be in the 4th year or the 5th year, or what plan do you have, and how will we subsidize the child? You will look after the mother, but what happens to the care of the child if the child stays with the mother? So if you could kindly clarify that, sir. In section 65, you've talked about registration, which is a very good step. But there is one little line, sir, which has come. It says section 65, it's after the clause 2, it's written there, provided that this is about the registration. It says, provided that the central government may be notification exempt any category of class of existing. Who is to decide who will exempt and how will you exempt? At this rate, anybody can ask for an exemption, and who will have the authority to exempt? So the first clause is correct, but this byline which has just come, I think if you could kindly clarify that. The other point is district level mental health boards. So who is going to budget them? Who is going to be on these boards? And how are we going to do it? Because I see that in my district itself, people who have to come to Pune Sassoon Hospital, which is one of the finest psychiatric departments, have to travel for hours to get there. I mean, and they spend sometimes 3, 4, 5,000 rupees just to get to the hospital. So you're subsidizing the help they are getting, but what about the travel? So unless this infrastructure is all over, so this board needs to be far more active, and the budgetary allowance for the board, it may not always need to be in Pune, it can go around in the other tehsils or the blocks. So something like that, if you could kindly come up. And sir, 2 last points is all the drugs that are required for this mental health are always for long-lasting treatments. So could we put all these in the essential drug list in the drug control price? Could you consider that? And lastly, sir, that most of these issues that we face are more women-centric also. I don't want to make this a men versus women debate, but definitely a lot of depression issues are more in men. The men are more schizophrenic in database, but in women, and most women, I've noticed even at Sassoon when we go, sir, if you follow data, that no woman is bought there, because the man is a earning man, so he needs the treatment, so the entire family spends a lot of money on the man coming there, but women do not get this help. So can we have a gender sensitive bill where women also, even in marriages, you notice if it's not an amicable divorce, a lot of times we have noticed that, and we have database evidence that in separations and divorces, people have used mental health as a huge category where women suffer because of that. So I would take this opportunity to ask the Honorable Minister if you would clarify some of these doubts, because it's a very strong bill. I do understand you have put your best foot forward, and you have asked the Psychiatric Society, all the NGOs working on it. So it's completely a good bill, but if you could walk another extra mile and just give clarifications, I think the implementation would be better, and the whole intent of the bill for which you have put this whole energy and time together would be fruitful, and the nation will thank you.
3 मस्जिद 1 मंदिर हिंदू समुदाय के द्वारा है, 3 मस्जिदों पर माइक रहेगा लेकिन मंदिर से माइक उतार दिया जाता है। क्या यही सेकुलर एजेंडा है इन लोगों का? यही सेकुलरिज्म है?